My obscure and phenomenal moment in Black history is a story buried beneath colonial dust, of courage and roots, of struggle and trust. A tale not in textbooks, nor medals displayed, but in whispers of warriors whose memories fade. This is the legacy of George Ngumbo, a farmer turned fighter in Kenya's deep jungle. While the world looked away and history moved on, he stood for his people till the empire was gone. In this rhyming tribute, with truth as our guide, we remember his oath, his pain, and his pride. So journey with me through the vessels ahead of land that was stolen and tears that were shed. Because grandfather fought for the land that he loved, and that fight is the reason the flag now flies above.
In a land of hills where the coffee trees grow, lived a man named George not so long ago. He farmed in the sun with the soil in his hands, but the fence he once loved had been stolen by plants. The British had come with their flags and their might, took acres and acres, said, "This is our right." They called it the Highlands, so green and so wide, but they fenced out the people and pushed them aside. The Kikuyu were crammed in a place far too small, where hunger and taxes would shadow them all. George carried a kapende worn tight on his chest, a passive book of pain, no freedom, no rest. His mother once farmed by a tree with deep roots. Now settlers wore boots on the graves and the fruits. So George, once a farmer, stood silent and strong and whispered, "This theft has gone on too long." One night in the dark, with the stars overhead, he stood in the forest and solemnly said, "I swear by the trees, in the land and the sky, to fight for our freedom, or fighting or die." They pricked their own fingers, the blood made it real. He promised like thunder, too strong to conceal. This oath wasn't evil, it came from the old, from wisdom and spirits, from stories once told. He vanished from home, left the fields and his kin, to fight in the forest, through thick and through thin. With berries and roots, and with courage and pride, he'd sneak home at midnight and vanish and hide.
With spears in their hands and no guns to their name, they still made the empire remember the flame. They cut down the wires, derailed the train tracks, defended their homeland with whisper and axe. But not all were with them, some fought on the side of the ones with the bombs, with the prisoners in pride. Kikuyu fought Kikuyu, brother turned on brother. War makes you choose one and silence the other. The British got angry, they shouted and roared, dropped bombs on the forest, sent troops by the horde. They built special villages, fenced all around, and burned down the homes that the fighters had found. They called it protection, but really it meant keep them all locked up, all their courage is spent. George's folks were forced into wire-wrapped camps with hunger, disease, and cold, soggy lamps.
One day in Nairobi, while healing his head, George was caught in a raid and was taken instead. They called it envy, a citywide sweep. They locked him in prison, he barely could sleep. They beat him and starved him, demanded he break. But George didn't tremble, didn't bend, didn't shake. He stayed with his oath through hunger and pain. While others were lost, he remembered his name. Many years behind fences, then, back to the land, still watched and still guarded, he branded and banned. But something had changed in the hearts of the men. They knew that the sun would rise once again. Then came the day, December so bright, the flag of the British came down in the night. The Kenyan flag rose in red, black, and green, and George wiped his eyes at the beautiful scene. He saw in the sky all the friends who had died. He whispered their names, and he whispered with pride. But no one gave medals, no cheers, no parade, just silence and farming and memories that fade. The books called them rebels, forgot all their names, as if freedom had come with no fire, no flames. But George still remembered, and so do I too, for the story of freedom must always ring true. So listen, dear child, remember this rhyme of forest and freedom, of struggle and time. For grandfather fought for the land that he loved, with the blood and with hope and the stars up above.